From amazing 5-bedroom, 2-story homes to beautiful 2 bedrooms with office space, Celebrity Homes has the perfect home for you. Our homes come with amazing features: vaulted ceilings, sprinkler systems, quartz countertops, designer light packages, and more. Plus, Celebrity Homes is proud to offer our new exclusive closing package. Get a refrigerator, washer-dryer, garage door opener, instant access to Wi-Fi, professionally installed blinds, and up to $3,000 towards closing costs. Yes, it's all included. Visit CelebrityHomesOmaha.com today.
Celebrate savings during the President's Day sale at NFM. Right now, pay 55 cents on the dollar. Plus, take an extra 11% off the current price on all furniture, carpet, and area rugs. Give your home the refresh you've wanted with so many amazing offers to shop. Get up to $1,000 back after mail-in rebate with qualifying appliance and electronics bundles. Plus, 24-month financing on qualifying purchases. Hurry in for President's Day savings. Only at NFM. Minimum monthly payments required. 18% APR. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
The deals have drop. The deals have drop. The deals have drop. The countdown is on. Light it up! It's on. Light it up like Friday. Like Friday, light it up. Light it up like Friday. Like Friday, light it up. Light it up like Friday. Friday, light it up. Light it up like Friday. Like Friday, light it up.
The Cowboys most likely won their game on Thanksgiving. It is Black Friday, and welcome to the Think Different podcast. No, we are definitely not recording before Thanksgiving. We are here live this Friday, and it is Black Friday, the worst day of the year to go out there and buy stuff for just yourself and nobody else. Thank you for joining us and taking the time out of your holiday weekend to be here with the Think Different podcast. But make sure you give us a little hit on that Facebook page at the Think Different podcast. And also check out our latest video, which is our 5th Avenue trip to the store. Got some great feedback on that video. And of course, I am here with the man, the myth, the legend, Texans' own Vacation Tim. How you doing, Timothy?
I'm doing very well. Very stuffed for my Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm great. It's gonna be a fun weekend.
Yeah. I mean, did you enjoy the football? Did you enjoy the turkey, the ham, the stuffing, the pies? You love pie.
I love apple pie.
I can see your face, and nothing makes you happier than some pie. All right, anyway. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to make this a very easy day today because it's the holiday weekend. We don't want to bother you so much, but we still thank you for taking the time out and joining us. But we do want to talk about what's going on right now for Black Friday. Very quickly, Apple did announce the same thing that happened last year. We referred to it last week in our episode of our Black Friday specials. So we talked about some of the great deals. Apple is bringing back the 4-day event. So from Friday to Monday, you can go to apple.com or you can go to the Apple Store, and they are giving gift cards up to $200 back, depending on what you get.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. As Will mentioned last episode, you can use that to buy AppleCare. You can even gift it. You know, you can even gift it as like a stocking stuffer.
Think about it. You could buy an Apple Store gift card to buy an iTunes gift card to take care of your iCloud account.
There you go. And I like how they allow you to offer it online, so you don't actually have to go to the store and get the offer.
Oh, Tim, I just realized too. I got something more mind-blowing. You get Apple TV Plus, too, for free for a year.
Oh, yeah.
Effect. So look at all the stuff you're getting. You're getting a gift card, Apple TV, and you're going to make someone smile on the day of whatever holiday you celebrate. Christmas. Forget it. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about a quick story that came up last week. It is a big thing that could change the direction of your AppleCare. It is time for the news.
The news.
Sometimes it takes a different approach to help you unlock your true potential. With Capella University's game-changing FlexPath learning format, you gain relevant skills you can apply to your career right away. Earn your degree from an accredited university and be confident in the quality of your education. Imagine your future differently at capella.edu. Capella University is accredited by the Higher Learning Commission. Learn more at capella.edu/accreditation.
Breaking news.
Select Apple stores are piloting extended AppleCare Plus eligibility beyond the usual 60 days. Now again, once you purchase any Apple product, you have from the date of the purchase 60 days to add on the AppleCare Plus if you did not add it on from the point of purchase. Well, Apple has heard you. They're testing in some stores where you can actually purchase it between the 61 days and the 1 year after the original date of purchase. So how do you do this? And if you are in this select Apple store, all you have to do is make a Genius Bar appointment, work with the technician and run through some diagnostics of the device and perform a visual inspection to confirm the eligibility. Again, you cannot bring the device in on the 61st day with a cracked screen and say, hey, I want to buy AppleCare. That is not how it works. It does have to pass the diagnostics and the visual inspection in order for you to add that care on. Now, they did throw around the idea of allowing it to be up to 2 years that you can add the care and stuff like that, whole 9 yards, but they have scaled it back to within the first year from the date of purchase. So right now they're kind of advertising as for the iPhone, but it looks like they're going to extend it for the iPad, Mac, Apple Watch, and the other devices that Apple offers, like Apple TV. It's pretty cool. Again, you have to be in the mindset that this is a pilot program, so the things could change within the program once they start testing it in the field, but it's pretty huge.
I expect this to go worldwide at some point. AppleCare Plus, my biggest gripe with it was when I got my new 2016 MacBook Pro, and then I had to wait a year to get AppleCare. Well, in the middle of this, they came out with AppleCare Plus, and they wouldn't allow me to get AppleCare because of the 60-day window. So I wasn't allowed to get AppleCare Plus, and I had to get the old one, but it cost the same amount of money.
Right, yeah.
Does that make any sense to anybody? No.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it makes me angry. So I didn't buy the AppleCare. I did it I fought back against the system. The idea now to give it a longer period of time, maybe a year, maybe 6 months. I don't know. We don't know how long that is, but I'm assuming a year. And that would be awesome.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll definitely keep up with it and keep you guys informed and any updates to the pilot program. But that is happening live right now. Apple starting on November 25th until December 2nd. Every Apple Pay purchase will donate $1 to the Global Fund for AIDS. So they, as you know, Apple has always dedicated some of their products and accessories to the Red AIDS program because National AIDS Day is Sunday, December 1st. So that's pretty cool. I mean, Apple is always great at recognizing the AIDS Foundation and stuff like that. Another thing off of Apple Pay as well, they just struck a deal with Nike. The Apple Card, it now offers 3% cash back on any product that you purchase from Nike.com, the Nike store, any of their outlets that you can get authorized Nike outerwear products and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. That's probably in line with their credit card if they have a credit card. I'd imagine it's probably around 3% that they give back as well. Kill two birds with one stone and sign up for the Apple Card.
Kill two birds with one stone. That's pretty hard to do. How can you? I mean, you literally have to throw the stone and literally not only hit the first bird, but the second bird at the same time, which means you have literally killed two birds with one stone.
Yeah, the Apple Card could do it.
Yeah, that's right. You can have your cake and eat it too, right? Yeah, go donate, people. It's a good cause.
No, it is. It's a great cause.
All right, stop being selfish. Put $1 into the pocket and help fight some AIDS. And I hope you enjoy it. The Cowboys are on their way to a Super Bowl. That's right.
I don't know about
that.
You got to lose their coach.
Mr. Negative on the other line here, folks. But we are going to talk about our next subject. Now, we finally have a product in our hands, and I purchased the AirPods Pro. And now it's time for a review of the AirPods Pro. It's TLD. Yeah.
People are talking about the AirPods Pro as the perfect Apple product that was released. We have our very own co-host, Will the V, telling you about AirPods Pro. Will, take it on over.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, because you can't say my last name right. All right. I came up with a couple things during the AirPods. Now, I've had them now for about a week and a half. First off, it's really no different as far as pairing it to your phone. It's really absolutely no different. Now, the biggest thing is I had a waterproof case I attached to my book bag. Because the case design has changed, it doesn't fit exactly the same.
Oh.
But the cool thing was I turned it the other way, and it fits fine.
Oh, there you
So
go.
I can still use the same case. I just had to angle it. So as far as the sound noise reducing, it's a big pro for me. There is definitely a big difference. So when I went on the bus the first day that I took it, because I take a bus to New York 2 hours a day and 2 hours going home. And I turned these on and I realized, oh my God, I don't hear the bus. I don't hear the sound of the engine. I don't hear any of that. It sounds great.
Wow.
Like listening to my music, it blocks everything out. So I really, really like that. And it really just gets me in my own zone, especially when you're on like a bus or transportation. This is like a game changer for me. The headphones I use right now are way too big for me. I don't like over the ear
Traveling and stuff.
traveling. Thank you. Yes. So I'd rather have something small. And this is a perfect item for that. Also, the button pressing. Now, I was critical of that. You remember I was
Yes.
very, very critical of that
Yeah.
when they came out. After using it for a while, I'm less critical on it. And the main reason why is because you can pause, you can double tap to fast forward, triple tap to go backwards, where in the original AirPods, you could only choose
Two functions.
one thing,
Yeah.
two functions, where this has multiple functions. So that made a big difference for me. The transparency features are awesome. Like the fact that I could just hold down a button and then the microphone picks up the sound that's coming through is really, really great. I like the transparency, and the buttons, the way I have it set up is the right side is my transparency and the left side is my Hey Siri. That's
Okay.
how I set up my headphones. And then it's also much faster to connect from one device to another. So I'm noticing that the switching between them is a lot better. So those are all the pros of my experience with the AirPods. Now I'm going to talk a couple cons. When the sound is reduced, you know when you have noise canceling headphones and you sound like you're muffled?
Yeah.
What happens is you don't talk as loud sometimes because you think you're talking louder than you really do. And a lot of people can't hear you that well because you got to speak louder than you think you are.
Yeah, it's kind of a mind trick, right?
It is a mind trick. So really you're not talking that loud, but I noticed that when I'm talking to my wife, she's like, you sound muffled. I can't understand you because I'm talking too low. That's something you have to get used to doing. Also, one of the things that is a little annoying is it does slip out of the sound reduction. So while I'm sitting down and I'm on the bus and I'm just letting the headphones kind of sit there, they're slowly coming out.
Oh.
Like very slow. Now, what I did was I was running the medium size buds. I switched them and I did the smaller ones. And they're still doing it. Not as bad though. But when they're sitting in my headphones for a while and I'm laying back, I'm noticing it slowly kind of coming out. So sometimes I have to push it back in a little bit. And then this is the biggest complaint I had last time, wearing a hat. That still gets in the way.
Yeah.
If you're in a cold area and you're putting that on your head, you will feel the difference because you can't press there's no way you can press the buttons. If you're covering your full ear, there is no way you can press the buttons.
Yeah,
For that
yeah.
to work.
Yeah, it's got to be a little annoying.
And my last thing is the battery. I feel like the battery improvement is not there. I don't feel a difference between the battery strength. Now, I don't know if that was something they said that was different or not, but I don't really feel that much of a difference on the battery life. I feel like it's really the same. So that's my takeaway from the AirPods. So you can take what you want from that. You know, everyone's experience is going to be different than mine for what I do with it. It's definitely a step up from the AirPods original second gen or first gen. And having the noise canceling, especially that I travel the way I do, is great. And I think it's worth it if you're on a public transportation a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think it's worth the $249?
So I would say the price is right, but you also have to understand the features that will benefit you to like this over the original AirPods. Because the original AirPods are very, very convenient
Oh,
to
yeah,
have.
yeah.
Every time I'm in New York, everyone's wearing them. You know, these AirPods definitely are a step up. But if you never had AirPods before and you got this, you're gonna love them. Like, you're really gonna love them. If you're going from the AirPod 1 to the AirPod 2, You'll see some improvements, but again, it's the same concept of having a small pair of earbuds in your ear that you don't have to worry about losing or worry about taking out of your ears when you need to talk to somebody. It just comes down to your personal preference. The price point, $250 is a lot of money plus tax, if you really think about it for a pair of headphones.
Yeah, it's true, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to look at is that will you like the noise reduction? Is that the biggest thing? And that's going to probably be the biggest factor is if you want the noise reduction or you don't. And you honestly should, when you go to an Apple store, try them both. Try the regular AirPods and play them, and then try the Pros, and then you'll make your mind up.
Because I'll be honest, me as a personal user of headphones in general, I had the original Series 1, I guess you can call them, of the Apple AirPods. And I actually like that design more than the gel design. I don't like the gel in my ears. It just feels weird in a sense.
It does feel weird. I mean, I definitely when I'm in an elevator, like that pop sound.
Oh, yeah.
Like
it's the worst.
Through.
Yeah.
Yeah. I go 36 floors up and down. So it goes fast. So you feel that pop noise, that little bit of ear, like the interference with the ear. So even when you're on a plane, you'll probably feel that too. So there's going to be certain times where you might get a little bit of pain because of the closeness of your ear, but that's, again, that happens here and there.
Yeah, I was just interested because of what you said about the battery life. So it's varies if you have the active noise canceling on or off, and it tweedles between a couple of hours if you have it on versus off. But it says it promises you to last about 24 hours of total listening time, 4.5 hours of constant playback with active noise canceling.
Yeah, I definitely don't get. A 4.5 is not. It's there, but it's like not. I don't think it's really 4.5. For me, I feel like it's more like 3.5.
3.5,
maybe.
Yeah.
3.5, maybe 4. Maybe not even that.
I also want to make our listeners wary of again, any kind of product that comes out of Apple, there's always the attempt to make a knockoff product. So there is a lot of products out there already that are replicating the exact same style and trying to replicate the software that the AirPods Pro offer. However, the major differences that I'm finding that the knockoffs are lacking is the ability to have the actual active noise canceling on and that transparency mode that the software offers within the AirPods Pro. But there's a lot of versions that are out there that actually look almost identical to the build of the AirPods Pro itself, even the charging case.
They're all over the place too. I see them inside of BJ's. They have these fake AirPods. There are benefits to having these Apple ones, especially with the switching between the two.
Sure.
This is not one device to one device. This is able to understand all your Apple devices together. So there is definitely going to be knockoffs that are like $95. I think I saw.
It was $95. Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw that, but. Yeah, don't buy a cheap pair just because you want to. Then you're just doing it to have the look, but do it because of what it brings you.
Yeah,
and don't bring them to an Apple store saying, "Oh, these AirPods aren't working," because someone's going to do that,
and they'll laugh at you.
Please, people have brought in Samsungs at the Genius Bar to fix.
Oh, that was so funny. Those times are always really funny.
That has happened,
and they don't understand. Like they're like, "Wait, what? I thought." And because people think it's like a phone store. They just fix phones.
Right. Someone actually came in there one time and looked for Nintendo products. Well, that is my review of the AirPods Pro. Go try them on. I think that's the best way you can understand them and know the difference between the AirPods and the AirPods Pro. But now we thought we'd end the night with something fun. Now, we already did this once, but we want to do it again because it was very fun to talk about. Hearing customer feedback to their store experience. So now we are once again going back down memory lane. It is time to review Apple stores from the customer.
Ew.
I was told by AppleCare that I could walk in the store and get the part.
All right, everybody, welcome back. It is the final segment for the Think Different podcast, and we are going back down and talking about some of the great reviews that some of these amazing customers or terrible customers have left to different Apple stores. And we are using reviews from Yelp and Google. So I have one right off the gate. Now, this one just happened, by the way, 2 days ago.
Ooh.
Okay, at an
nice
Apple
and fresh.
store. Nice and fresh. Now, actually, this is a positive review. We're going to start positive, okay? So here we go. This customer states that they stopped by without an appointment to get an iPhone battery replacement. I had a short wait in the queue. Replacement was done by their estimated time. I would use this shop again.
There
That was much different 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't do that.
No.
But remember everything's changed now. The batteries are pretty much in stock at every store now. And they have this new quote system that allows them to know exactly when it'll be done based on how many repairs are already in the system. Before,
That's awesome.
we just guessed.
Yeah,
it was just a guess.
It was just a guess. That was so funny.
Yeah, so we no longer guess. So this guy walked in, got exactly what he wanted. Now, he's left 2 reviews at other places. I also look at what other reviews they've left. So he had a great experience, and that's great. I would hope that that's not happening anymore, where people are being misquoted.
Right, yeah.
If anything, they're gonna beat their expectation than not.
So let's turn the tables and turn into a bad review. This one is also fresh off the press. Her name is Margie, and she gave it 1 star, and she has this to say. How are you going to email me, ask me to call you, then have me on hold for nearly an hour? What? ? Everyone on lunch? ? Also, thank you for reassuring me my Apple Watch repair was covered and would be at no cost to me, when in reality it's $160. Complete joke.
What are your thoughts on that?
That just sounds like a genius admin goofed up and read the wrong portion of the service agreement and told them the wrong price, and then they had to eat their own words because it actually cost the customer money. I would hope that because of this experience, when the customer came back in, that they would get that price adjusted back to 0 because they were promised it was covered.
I would love to know what the actual service agreement stated. That's what I would like to hear.
Yeah, that too.
I think that'd be very important for reviews about the Genius Bar, that they show their work authorization of just the portion that shows the notes that the actual tech writes up, because I'd be very curious to know what they wrote. Now, if they wrote that it would be covered under a limited warranty, the only thing I can think of is that they found physical damage. And,
right.
That could be the only thing I can think of why the price jumped up a little bit. But the fact that they said they had it on hold for nearly an hour, so that I'm just very curious about that. That seems a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, it is around the holiday season, but an hour is a long time, especially if they're trying to figure out where the order is and stuff like that. And what Will's attesting to, again, we've reiterated multiple times on our show, every time an Apple Watch is repaired, it's not repaired in the store. It is sent out to a outside facility to be repaired at. So what Will is describing is every time it's sent out with under the visual inspection that they have in the store, but there's actually further diagnostic tools that they use at the repair centers that are able to discover if there is further damage or malfunctions to the device, and that's why it is always up to being requoted, and that is in the service agreement. So she might have not read that, but it is in the service agreement.
No one reads the service agreement. Let's face it.
I know. All right, Will, what do you got?
That's true. All right, so I had one. This was an updated review. So they wrote a review before, and they updated it. Originally, they had to replace her phone, recover the data, and they were able to help her out very well with her experience. Now, this is the update. How it changes. Apple sucks. The Genius Bar is only for certain types of issues now. Hiked all the way to the mall, only to be turned away and scheduled with a phone agent. I want in-person service. Okay,
wow.
So let's talk about that. All right, so let's talk about that.
That's a good one.
So everybody who's listening right now, if you are going into your store complaining about issues with your mail app, or it's not working fast enough, or give me another good one, Tim.
Passwords,
like stuff where it's software only and not hardware related, do not go to the Apple Store. They have changed, because the goal is to use AppleCare over the phone to help out with all your issues prior. We talked about when you're trying to book a Genius Bar appointment, the goal is to find out what best works for your situation. And a lot of people don't know to go. People just want the face-to-face interaction. Well, Apple doesn't want the face-to-face interaction. They don't. Their goal is to it's true.
Yeah, it's true, but they also discovered the idea that they can save money and time of the customer and the employees by utilizing their over-the-phone services for these type of problems, and have more people be seen that actually need physical product and hardware help. So I think it's a good step for Apple. I always thought that when we worked there, they always had to frame it better to the customer that, this isn't the best place to do it. The best place is for you to get help over the phone. There should have been more of a clear indication that it's not so harsh to decline them or decline their service, stuff like that.
I bet you they weren't harsh.
I'm sure. It's just people were upset that they slept all the way over to the store and then they were just denied to go home. And
Apple is a very easy support site for you to get help. If you choose, like right now I'm on like what's happening with your iPhone, and I chose that I'm not able to update or restore it. It's giving me like 3 options: send in for repair, talk to Apple support now, bring in for repair, right? Now, if I chose something different and I chose performance is slower than expected, it's not giving me any options to go to the store. So it depends on the situation that you're at. Use the Apple website as a guide to know if you should go to the store or not. You should talk to Apple support first before you do anything. They are available pretty quickly. They can help you out with it. It even tells you the wait time, and if the wait time is long, they call you anyway.
they call you back, yeah.
You don't have to wait on the phone like a tool like a lot of other companies do. For me, you have to understand, if you're going to the store because something is physically wrong with your phone and that a replacement is absolutely necessary based on the symptoms that you're having.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree. It's just, again, it's so hard to tell. Like,
I told them all the time,
but
I wasn't afraid. I wasn't afraid to do that. I would have said, ma'am, we can't solve this problem here. We cannot help you out.
No, I get that. I just think that we're in such an age that these products, these iPhones, these Macs, whatever, we are so attached to it. They've become part of our lives. And the idea of something's not working, I need to get it fixed right away. I'd rather go drive to the Apple store and try to get it fixed instead of sit on the phone for whatever time it may take to get it fixed over the phone. I'd rather deal with someone in person. You know what I mean? Like, they just want that instant gratification, that instant help that they think that they can get, but in reality, they're not going to get that. It's just going to be a longer process for them. So it just needs to go through a way of thinking change, just a systems change. It's going to take a long time to weed out those kind of visitors that just think that, oh, I have a problem, I need to go to the Apple store to get it fixed. So it's going to take time to do that. It starts with all education, and Apple being kind of in your face about the idea of what support is right for you and what support is not right for you.
You know what? If they want a solution, they should go talk to Computer Tutor Ted.
Oh man, I don't even want to get started with that guy.
All right.
So
you're next.
Yeah, I got a good one. Good review. 5 stars. It's a 5-star review. I can't say enough good things about this store. We had a phone issue. We went through all the proper steps to fix it. It was a unique problem, but we eventually figured out what was wrong. Every person we dealt with was as nice, knowledgeable, and patient. I will do all of my Apple business here from now on. I like this review for 2 reasons. One, that they recognize the idea that they've dealt with multiple people in their interaction. So typically, sometimes in a handoff, whether it's in the sales portion or the support portion, you can start with one technician or one salesperson and actually be handed off to someone else just for different kind of needs and stuff like that. So I like how she recognized the fact that she was being handed off, but each person that she was dealt with gave off these kind of features of nice, knowledgeable, and patient. And I also like the idea that she'll be coming back to Apple to do business there from now on, because Apple is a store where you can get kind of all the resources that you need, right? You get your support for your expensive technology, and you're able to buy your expensive technology there with the right amount of people that are knowledgeable and patient and nice and stuff like that. So I like this review a lot. It kind of recognizes the fact of why Apple retail is a behemoth and will never go away in the retail dying age.
Retail is still necessary, I believe, for a lot of things, especially Apple, because a lot of times you don't know what the right thing is to get, especially the older generation who never really grew up on smartphones. Like my mother would always ask me for advice when it comes to buying the right phone or looking for the right thing. You know, if I wasn't around, I would tell her to go to the Apple store, or if I didn't work for Apple. Retail stores are still there because you need to physically see products. But for stores that you really don't need to physically see things, yeah, they're a waste. I mean, we just found out AC Moore, they're closing all their stores.
Yeah, that was a shock.
They're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all gone. You know, some stores you don't need to go to anymore just to get what you need. You know, but I think Apple products is something you do need, especially that you have to activate phones. So you're always going to need to. You're almost going to always need to go to a store to do that. All right, so I got one more. Then you have one last one we'll go over. So this is from. Let's see here. We got 5 months ago. I actually used to like coming to the store. I used to visit every now and then and look around and buy a few things until today. Okay. So I get there and I get set up for an appointment with a tech. So I get called in and I had some water from a water park get into my house phone.
Oh boy.
And it was turning on into the Apple and then turning off. She looks at it for 10 seconds and says, "We need to replace it with a new device." I say no, and then just for the hell of it, I press the power button, and the phone's been working fine ever since. The lack of help was ridiculous. She tried to sell me a story about the phone, and it didn't even try to help me.
Yeah, it's working fine now, but just wait. I mean, that's the thing with water-damaged phones. It's finicky.
So,
you know, they're not going to.
You tell me.
What?
You tell me. Do you think this was a good experience?
No, I don't think it. I mean, I think it's fine.
I think a lot of techs do this.
What, they automatically assume the
right,
problem?
Because one of the things that we are taught is if they admit liquid damage, by default, it's out of warranty. Now, here's my thing on that. There are liquid indicators that tell you if it's tripped or not. It wouldn't have hurt to say, you know what? It sounds like they didn't do it as a reset. They just said, oh, well, it's damaged. Like, they didn't even press the power buttons. They didn't do anything. You know, did they check the LCI? Did they actually, you know, we just say, you know what, sir, why don't we open up the phone, and if it has a seal on it, why don't we open up the phone, and why don't we see if there's any liquid inside the phone? But understanding that the risk is if I open it and air hits it, that could cause no more power to happen on this phone, because I've done that. Right. I have opened up a MacBook before that was working fine. Then the moment I took it, and she admitted there was liquid, and I said, well, let me go assess the damage. I open it, I take a look inside, there's a full of liquid, now the device doesn't turn on anymore. And she gets on me for it not working anymore, because it was working before she got in here. Even though she admitted there was liquid in it. Right? And that became a fight, because my manager had to get involved with it, which took my side, by the way. But from now on, when I opened up anything, I asked for verbal consent. That you understand that if I open this, and I write it down as well, that you gave me permission to open it, and if it doesn't work after I give it back to you, you understand that's because of the damage from the liquid.
Right, and not the damage.
And some customers did not allow that, because air does affect the components inside, especially if liquid is in there, especially if the liquid's kind of sealed up and it really can't move around. Now that it's freed up with the display off of it, something can go wrong.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm saying about this when it comes to the tech. I can understand why this guy's upset. It sounds like he got helped out on time, but they assume because of the liquid damage that they didn't do anything. So this is what I have to say to a tech. Always offer the option to check the LCI. Always do the reset. Always do the reset. Plug it in. Try to do a restore. Try something. But don't just say, oh, it's out of warranty after 10 seconds of looking at it, just because he admits he had liquid in it. Because we have a seal. The whole point of the LCI inside is if that's tripped, you're out of warranty. But if it's not tripped, you're still in warranty.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
You know, and we have waterproofing on these phones now. So I think, to me, that's a failure on Apple. And yeah. I don't know if you can see it from my explanation of it, from where I'm coming from a tech side. But one thing I will tell you, when I was a tech, and I learned this as I went along, everyone did this as a tech once. Everyone always said, oh, you get liquid, it's out of warranty. But I learned that doesn't make anybody happy.
No,
so,
yeah.
You know, do everything you can to prove that either he has liquid or he doesn't, and try to help him turn it back on. That's the goal, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just to give the best service to the customer. A seasoned veteran, Will, is.
Thank you.
All right, so let's close out the night.
Review.
This is a short, and I like it, and it's going to make me laugh. It's a 5-star review, decent waiting time at the Genius Bar, would highly recommend. Now, this is funny in the sense that, does he like waiting? Like, he's like, yeah, decent waiting time, like 2 hours,
time.
you know.
There was
I would
a
highly
very
recommend
decent
it.
time frame.
You get a lot done in the 2 hours that you wait. So that's funny. But he gave 5 stars for review, so that's all that matters. So good for this gentleman. We definitely always like to come back to these because we just want to see, you know, how Apple's retail is doing, and you know, if we see any consistent changes that they've made in their processes and stuff like that.
Yep, and honestly, it doesn't seem like there's been a big significant change since I left, especially after my experience at Fifth Avenue store. So it doesn't feel like anything much has changed when it comes to the process of the store. And I'm hoping that this is working. That must be a sign that it's working. You know, if this is still like this 2 years from down the line, then I would say that they have a system that works. Techs have to be people in the front, especially who are trying to guide people who need to be in that store and who don't. You're in charge. You decide who goes on that list and who doesn't. That's the bottom line. And if I would be rough on people that say, hey, listen, we're not going to be able to help you here. I'm telling you we're not.
Yeah.
We're just going to cause more problems. We're going to erase your phone. That's our option here. Have you erased your phone before? No. Well, then there's no point of being here. Why don't you talk to Apple? At least they can back it up. You can back it up on your own iTunes if you need to. You know, here you're relying on just your iCloud. That's it. And then you're going to stay with us until the iCloud's done, which is not happening.
Yeah.
So reality is, guys, the store, you're going to have some bad experience at every store. You know, honestly, there's only one place I've had positive experiences across the board, and that's been Amazon. Beyond that, I have, you know, and my own car dealership. Believe it or not, they're actually very, very good.
Oh, wow.
Well, they take care of me. I feel like their prices are reasonable, and they do everything on time. I'm looking for that kind of service, and if they keep giving me that kind of service, I'm going to keep going there.
Yeah, sure.
But also, you got to be reasonable, too. So, let's just, reality, people suck.
Yep.
So, all right, guys. So that's our podcast today. We hope you guys check us out at the Think Different Podcast. Check out our website, thinkdifferentpodcast.com. Check out our Facebook page, our Instagram, and our Twitter, which is at ThinkDiffPod. Check us out on the Launchpad DM. That is our platform we are on, which is associated with Podcast One. And remember to check us out everywhere on Pandora, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You name it, we're on there.
Yeah, we're on it.
That's right. So, Tim, any final thoughts before you go do your Black Monday shopping? Or Cyber Monday shopping?
Yeah, I'm might be looking to buy a new MacBook. So stay tuned.
Oh my God, you're going to get a new MacBook. Oh my God, you're growing up because he can't handle his Air anymore.
I can't. It's too slow.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us this week. Enjoy your Cyber Monday deals, and we hope you join us for the next episode of the Think Different Podcast.
Peace out!